as a Melburnian all my life, I used to absolutely love football. Football, we call it Australian rules. If you don't, excuse me, if you don't know what that is, it's a religion here in Melbourne and all over Australia. But I couldn't give a fuck about it now because I honestly believe they're 100% complicit in this fucking BS-19 rubbish. Let's have a look at this. 33 games in 19 days. What's this fucking 33 bullshit? AFL unveil fixture frenzy following Queensland mass relocation. I'm not going to bother playing this fucking video of this sellout CEO of the AFL, Dill McLaughlin, as we call him, with precisely 100 fixtures remaining in the 2020 season. The AFL has confirmed 33 matches will be played during a chaotic 19-day frenzy. Well, I just want to fill you in. They played their first round early March. That's when the footy season starts, and there's usually 22 games played. 22 rounds, sorry. They played the first round just to tease us. Then the COVID shit started. So then they said, oh, sorry, we're going to stop now, we're going to stop now. Everyone's in lockdown and shit. And they said, oh, it'll be like, I don't know when they said, fucking May 31st or whatever. Yeah, they knew exactly by the script when they were going to come back. They knew they were going to come back and play their shit, because you can go so far, especially in sporting crazy, not just Melbourne but Australia. If they cancel the football again, by God, there could be revolts. People will start to wake up. So they're going to play out the AFL season, a reduced season, and get this. This is how fucking bad it is. 2 days before the stage 3 again announced here in Victoria, when they started bullshit with their cases where they, thousands and thousands of tests, and they just pour out these cases of elderly people, what have you. But 2 days before, every single club, we've got 10 clubs here in Melbourne, 10 clubs in Victoria, say, if you want to count Geelong, 10 clubs out of 18 clubs throughout Australia. All 10 clubs went out of Victoria just by chance to other states to play. 2 days later, Andrews calls back to stage 3 lockdown. Can you freaking believe it? Perfect timing or what? So what's going on now? There's nothing being played, obviously, in Melbourne, Victoria, the heart of football. We've got the greatest stadium in the world, the Melbourne Cricket Ground. So these games are being played in Queensland, in Perth. Crowds are starting to come in these other states. I'm not sure, they're not full capacity, probably only half. But for all this time, no crowds were allowed in. So they're going to finish off the season with this bullshit 33 games in 19 days. And just, because they're going to finish later on than expected. Usually the grand finals the last week in September. They're planning to go into November. I don't know. It's going to hold up the cricket season. Who knows where the grand final is going to be played. Definitely won't be played at the MCG in Melbourne. But yeah, 100% they are complicit in this shit. Just mind-fucking the population of Australia. Who gives a fuck about football? Honestly, I don't give a fuck about it now. Like I said, I was crazy football. I used to be in a cheer squad. I used to be 7 in the morning on Saturdays with my, what we call floggers, these streamers that we used to sit behind the goals and wave in the cheer squad, Collingwood. I mean, I was crazy. I couldn't sleep if my side lost and stuff like that. I actually never forget one day at the old Hawthorn ground, Glenferrie Oval, when I was young, probably, 15. I went there and I stood in the rain. And I was sick for a week. After that, but that's how keen I was. I stood in the rain. I think we lost anyway. But that's how, things were. Anyway, I won't go on with that, but 33 games in 19 days. I couldn't give a fuck about your 19. I had pulled the plug on my TV, not that I watch it anyway. I've actually pulled the plug out of the socket. I have no intention of watching TV again, especially if I hear that word COVID or coronavirus or whatever. Until that stops, I will not watch anything on TV. I couldn't give a fuck what it was. And as far as radio, I don't turn that on. I might, when I lay in bed, just listen to what happens at night in regards to people calling in, in regards to football, having a bit of a talk. And I haven't read a newspaper for God knows how many years. And to think that I religiously had it home delivered, had the newspaper home delivered and would read it back to front every day. Mainly from back to front because of the sports section was at the back. But yeah. Anyway, that's it. You can stick your fucking AFL up your fucking clacker.